Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name's Wraith, and today I'm going to be answering my own question. Can a Mumak be competitive? Well, in short, maybe. Yeah, and here's why. I've got an idea of what might work. I'm going to have to play test it, but this is me fiddling around and having a look and seeing what I can do. Now, I'm going to be mainly talking about the Mumak itself and maybe a couple of other components to the army. Yeah, because hopefully soonish, when all this rubbish is over that's going on around the world, I will be entering a friendly doubles tournament, so it's more about fun. So I can test this without worrying too much, because a lot of other people are doing silly wacky lists. I will be covering that tournament as soon as I can get to it. But yeah, so I thought this is the challenge I put on myself, and my doubles partner told me, can I make a Mumak competitive? So I had a look at the Mumaks, and the Mumaks are alright. I'll tell you why they're not competitive, firstly, in my opinion. Starting off with, they've got the Stampede special rule, like all war beasts do. Every wound they take, you have to do a courage test. So basically, how that happens, coming straight out the rulebook, page 81 if you want to check, the Stampede rule says, every time the warbeast suffers a wound, the model must take a courage test using the courage value of the model controlling it, or its own if they have no model controlling it. A courage test must be taken at the start of each warbeast's model's moves, in which it has no crew remaining. If the test is passed, nothing happens, the warbeast may act as normal. If the test fails, however, the opposing player may move the warbeast in its next move phase, exactly as if it wasn't like their own model. If it takes the warbeast off the table, then it's destroyed, and the crew, in the turn in which the warbeast stampedes, you can still shoot and stuff like that. And at the end, it counts as the controlling player's model again. So that is a big downside. Okay, a massive downside, because you can do one wound and it fails a courage test and it's near the table edge. Boom, you've lost like 400 points worth of model. And I mean, you're looking at like courage 4, courage 5, depending on who you've got controlling it, and that's not great. That's not good odds. The other downside to it is it's so easily stopped. So if my opponent was using a Mumak and I got priority, or I heroic moved and won the roll off, so you get the heroic move, all I need to do is get one model into base contact with that Mumak and it can't trample. That's it, done, negated. It's so easy. So easy to do. Yeah, that's it. That's why I don't think they're competitive. Plus, they're a massive target, yada yada yada, really easy to shoot at. So yeah. So I thought I'd get over the first obstacle, and that is the Stampede. So how do I negate that? I want to whack the courage as high as I can. And the way I've done that is not using a normal Mumak. I've gone with the Gondor War supplement, the Mumak War Leader. Okay? Oh, I also mentioned the other downside to Mumaks is they're really expensive in points and money, depending on where you live. So, yeah. I mean, I don't mind. It's a cool model. So, for 400 points for the Mumak War Leader, you do get a Hero Legend, which is quite nice. Okay? And I'll just go through his stats. It'll be easier. He's Fight 5, which is really good. Shoot value of 3+. This is the guy on top, mind you. He is Strength 5, which is awesome. Defense 5, which is not bad. 3 attacks, 3 wounds, and Courage of 6. That's the one I wanted. Courage 6. I can work with that. He's got 3 Might, 2 Will, which will be handy, and 2 Fate. And he comes with armor, a long-bladed spear, and the Raw War Mimic itself. Now, the spear is basically a weapon that can be used as a spear or a 2-handed sword. Cool. Now, the Raw War Mimic. Basically, it is a War Mimic of Far Harad with a gnarled hide, sigils of defiance, and the tusk weapon upgrades. Additionally, the Royal War Mimic has a fight value of 5 rather than 4, which is actually really good. And the Mumak War Leader replaces the Muhad Beastmaster Chieftain and is placed in the same manner. So you put it towards the front on the weird little fork that pokes out from the top above its head. And another bonus is you can include Haradrim warriors on top, or Haradrim models. as if they were in the same army, and you don't lose the army bonus, which is actually really handy. He comes with Heroic March, which is really important for the trample. Heroic Strike, which is awesome. Heroic Strength and Heroic Challenge. Challenge obviously being the best out of all of them. I'm kidding, again. I don't know how many times I'm going to make that joke. Probably a few more times. And then we got Special Rules. Imposing Presence. This is really good. Whilst mounted upon his Raw War Mumak, the first time each turn an enemy model declares a heroic move within 12 inches, roll a d6. On a 4+, the heroic move is immediately cancelled and any might points spent in declaring it is lost. That is so good. And you measure from the base of the War Mumak. So that's a big area that ability comes into play. Because that's how you negate War Mumaks. I get priority, you try and heroic move with the guy that's in range to do something, and I roll a dice and a 50-50 chance of it not happening, and you still lose the might. Sometimes that'll put people off from trying to call it, but 9 times out of 10 they probably will try and call it, because, yeah, why wouldn't you? It's a Mumak that's going to run you over. And then it's the High King of the Muhad. The range of the Mumak war leaders stand fast is 12 inches rather than 6. And additionally, models from the warband may deploy within 12 inches rather than 6, even outside of the Howdah if they wish. Whilst the war leader is atop his raw war mimic, measure the range of this special rule from the mimic's base. So, okay, he's got some awesome rules. Yeah, I'll quickly go over what the upgrades do, in case you don't know. So, like the gnarled hide, the tusk weapons, the sigils of defiance. So, the gnarled hide basically bumps its defense from 7 to 8, which is really good because strength 3 attacks, which are like elf bows and stuff, now need 6s by 4s rather than just 6s. Also, you get the sigils of defiance, and basically it gives model in the Howdah resistant to magic special rule. Additionally, every time a model in the Howdah suffers a wound, roll a d6. On a 6th, wound is ignored as like you've got fate, which is really good. Really good. Another little boost to stop people sniping the guy on top. And tusk weapons. You will inflict 4 strength 9 hits when it tramples rather than 3, which is amazing. Worth doing. Okay. Now, I forgot to mention, this also counts as a banner for Haradrim and Muhad models. Kind of. It's not a banner, so you can use a banner on top of this. So you get to reroll 2 dice if you have more than 1 attack, which is really nice. So, yeah, what's my plan? Now, it's really, really simple, and I don't know. It's kind of competitive to the point where this could work, but it's going to cost a lot of points. So you pay 400 points for the Mumak War Leader, okay, with his Raw Mumak, and you also get a guy, Haradrim, warrior or whatever, and give them a War Horn. Because it gives every model on the table plus 1 courage, every friendly model, whilst it's alive. So you're bumped up to courage 6 now, with 2 will. Now, to fail a courage test with no negative modifiers, you will need a double 1 to fail. Now, it's not very easy to roll a double 1, unless you're certain people, because some people do like to roll double 1s. And even if you do, you have 2 chances to stop it. Assuming you're not using that will for anything else, because you've got the resistance to magic special rule, so you're going to get an extra dice anyway. You've got, yeah. So it's going to be hard to make this guy trample unless you've got, like, the King of the Dead or a Wraith on the other side of the board, which is making them -1, and then that means you need to roll a 3 to fail. So that's kind of got rid of the first threat, in my opinion. The second threat is, you know, chucking a single guy in to stop it, or maybe 1 or 2 guys in. And that's quite easy. You just bubble the Mumak with something that can I mean, if you got the points, because you're spending, 436 with a Haradrim with a Warhorn points already. So that's a lot of your army gone. You just want to bubble this Mumak. And the ideal way is to get cheap as chips cav. That's one way to walk it into battle, because, I mean, it only goes 8 inches, so you've got a bit of extra movement if you're using, like, Haradrim Raiders. They're 11 points for a bog standard guy, so you can get a few of them just to circle around, maybe give them War Lances if you want. They'll be poisoned, so why not? War Spears, sorry. The other option, and I quite like this one option, is Camels, so the Muhad Raiders. Now, you can have a mix of both, so you've got a couple of Haradrim Raiders and a couple of Muhad Raiders. And the reason the Muhad Raiders are quite nice is, say you don't have priority, and someone chucks like a goblin or something in as chaff to stop your mimic from moving. You can then throw a camel at that goblin, and there is a chance with the impact hit you can just clip them off your mimic, and you knock them over, kill them with the impact hit, and then you can speed out the way and keep going, so you're out of the mimic's way. That is another tactic which I have used in the past when I used my mimic that one time. So yeah, that's kind of my plan. I think that could work if it's got a good army support in the mimic. So anything from like, you want to have maybe things like the Taskmaster, because every time you call is it a heroic march, a heroic move, or a heroic march, or heroic shoot, roll d6 on a 4+, you can call it for free without expending might. That's really handy because heroic marches are awesome because you still trample as you march. Heroic moves are obviously useful because if the enemy get priority and you can run them over, you want that heroic move, and you can get them for free. So with that combo, so you've got the Taskmaster, you've got the Warhorn, you've got this Mimic War Leader, and you've also got some Camels with some Riders to like bubble round him, and so you get the perfect moment for you to charge through. That's the only way I can see making the Mimic somewhat competitive. That combo. And I will test this, and I'll let you know how it goes. Probably in a couple of videos' time. But, yeah. That's my idea. So please let me know what you think. If you think this is a solid idea, or if you think it's absolute rubbish. Because if it is, please do let me know. I'm still going to test it, because it sounds fun. And this is a fun doubles tournament I'm going to. So I'm not aiming to absolutely cream everyone. Otherwise I'd just go for a Serpent Hall Gunline, because that's much better. But yeah, we're going for more themey look, so more like Penelor Fields, Mordor and Muhad and Haradrim and all that good stuff. That's the idea behind it. We wanted Muhad and Mordor together, and we had to be green allies. But if you're doing something thematic, then they'll let you off. And they said, yes, we can do this, Muhad and Mordor alliance, but if we include a Mimic, because that's what we're going for, Penelor Fields, and there are quite a few Mimics there. And I'm fine with that, because it's all for good fun. So, yeah, thank you ever so much for listening, and I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. Goodbye.